Welcome back, guys. A while ago, you may have saw me make that big tower computer conversion down to a stubby tower that's basically just an ATX power supply with a couple drive bays. And I made a plate up front out of a vinyl. I used a power supply inside here. I'm just going to pick you up here for a second. Is one of those little... You see those little power supplies are super cheap. They're like $5. I got that one from Alice. But if you can see in that picture, it has just those two little trim pots at the bottom. So I can't really hold that steady. So yeah, it's not very handy as a regular bench thing. It's great for setting up a battery charger, which is one of the things that's kind of really built to do the best because it has current limiting and all that junk, which I'll show here because it's actually powered. It's set to 8 and 3/4 volts. I'm just going to short the leads, and as you can see, it goes into current limiting. I don't know if the blue, oh yeah, the blue LED shows up. I'll flip that over in a second. But originally it had these little guys. I don't know if it's going to focus on them here for us. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Maybe it can't focus on that. Stupid autofocus on this camera. There we go. It had these little guys, little 10K trim pots. If I'm quick, it won't lose the focus. So it had two of those soldered on the board. And, well, those little 10-turn trim pots, side by side, so close, they're a real pain in the butt to adjust if you're working on something on a bench like this. Eventually this faceplate will be mounted on that power supply, and this little fellow that I just got, that's one of those DSP 3003s. I wanted the one that has the finer amperage and voltage scale because I only work on stuff in the lower voltages. And in the back here is just a lead acid behind this right now. So move this out of the way. It's just a lead acid battery. I'm going to unplug that. It's just one of those old backup power or emergency lighting batteries. You can get those at Princess Auto here in Canada every once in a while. You get them for like $6. Maybe even less, I can't remember. Anyhow, what I did is I got some of these. These are 10K 10-turn precision pots. Now they're wire wound, so there's stepping, but the step granularity is so small that it doesn't make a difference. It's less than I think 1/10 of a step on this. So you got to turn this about a quarter turn before you even start to make a difference, and it takes a half turn to make one decimal point difference on here. So that's like 100 millivolts or milliamps. But as you can see, I removed those two trims. Let's see if I can get this in here. I removed the two trim pots from below there, installed a female header, and then made a set of jumper wires out of old USB 2 cables to go to the pots because I wasn't sure how long this distance would be. Later I'll shorten that up once I get it set, but it's just temporarily glue gun glued in because you can just heat that up and take it off. One of the nice things about the glue gun glue and me making the window just a tiny bit long is this bottom part. I don't know, earlier when it was running, when it goes into overcurrent, this glue gun glue lights up blue to warn the overcurrent, and the top one will go red if you're charging a battery when the charge is complete. So that's pretty handy. But what I'm going to do later is figure out an arrangement that still has this and then allows me to install this on the same faceplate and use this as the front of that bigger power supply project. But this is basically that unit. I've just added some nice 10-turn trim pots that can be used quickly while it's on the bench. But there's only overcurrent protection on this. There's no, it's got constant voltage right up until constant current switches in. I'm not going to go into these units too much. There's probably a million videos on the internet about them. There's a video that I'm going to make a little later. And that video is going to be about how to set the memories. It took me a little while to figure it out, so I'm going to make a dedicated video about it later. But this one I got mainly because the resolution and voltage. You see I'm setting up tenths of a volt there. Actually, I think that's hundredths, yeah. And it's pretty good. I've got that on my Greenly meter, and it's 1-to-1. It's pretty darn good. Dave has done a whole properties on these, so I'm not going to get into that too much. They're really good units. I've been to the fellow's YouTube page, his web page, pretty cool. Can't really go wrong if it's just a small bench supply for hobbies in this. But what I'm going to do a little bit later, I'm going to wrap this video up now, is I'm going to come back and go over setting up the memories, because there is built-in memories. You can push and hold this for 2 quick memories, which this was already on. And I'm going to see if I can bring up the second one here. Yeah, memory 2, see it went to 3.1 amps, which is the maximum of this particular unit. But you could also go anywhere of 10 memories. Once you go in the middle here, you can turn the dial. I don't know if you can see that number there going up as I'm turning the dial. Yeah, there you go. There's technically 9 memories, with 0 being the default. What I'm going to go through in a different video is how to set those, because there's a few steps and it might be a little more involved. I need a better camera setup. This is a small update on the bench power supply. And if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to put them below. And as always, like if you like, and thanks for watching. Bye.